Hey guys, welcome to my channel. How are you all doing today? So today I will be diving into a topic that hits close to home for many of us: friendship, trust, and the unexpected twist that can unravel even the strongest bonds. Imagine you're living your best life, enjoying the comfort and security of your marital home in the enchanting landscapes of Jamaica. But what happens when you invite a friend into your sacred space, only to discover that their intentions were far from pure? So today I'll be looking at betrayal and deception, double betrayal and deception, because it isn't your average friendship drama. Join me as we look into the layers of envy, manipulation, and heartache that lies beneath the surface and discover the lesson we can learn from this cautionary tale. Some of you might have indeed been in this position, so you know exactly how it feels to receive a double betrayal. So what is betrayal? Betrayal, according to the way I understand it, is the act of breaking trust or loyalty, often by deceiving or harming someone you relied on. And the funny thing about it is, it doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people who are closest to us. And that's the irony of it. So, for those of you who haven't actually experienced anything like that, I'm going to tell the story of what's happened to a very close friend of mine. So she has a holiday home in Jamaica, a sanctuary of love and cherished memories where, her dreams were built and the futures imagined. So she invited a friend to come and stay with her because, she has this holiday home, and basically the friend did not want to go into a hotel. And, being a friend of hers, she thought it would be really nice just to have this person come and stay with her for 2 weeks. So she welcomed her friend with open arms. And what she discovered is, her friend's eyes were basically on what she has and the husband that she also have. Her eyes green with jealousy, fixated on the home and the man that shared it with her. With calculated precision, she sowed the seed of doubt and discord, using flirtation as her weapon, aiming to shatter the bonds of trust and love that she shared between her husband. She did this by, being tactile, trying to play with her husband, disrespecting the friend, But it wasn't just the husband that she wanted. She wanted the husband's affection. It was also the life that my friend had built and the happiness that she was now experiencing. So what the friend did, she went ahead and, her friend has a house in Jamaica. So she went ahead and, wanted to have something like that for herself too. So with the help of her friend who lives in Jamaica, she went ahead and helped this friend to purchase a holiday home. She did not purchase it outright, but she put a deposit down on it. So she employed her husband to do like security, to do certain bits of works on the house for her. So she had the husband's telephone number, and she was ringing up the husband to do this for her and do that for her. At first the friend didn't mind. She started to get suspicious when this was an everyday occurrence. She's ringing up her husband on different occasions every day. So she confronted her husband about it. The husband said, "Oh, there's nothing going on. We're just talking about work." And, there's certain bits of work that I have to do for her, and this will all soon be over. We won't need to be communicating on such levels. But, the work had finished, and eventually he finished doing the work with her. But this friend was still ringing, all different hours, sending texts every minute. And, my friend became suspicious because the husband had said to her that, the work was now finished and she didn't have to, they didn't have to communicate as often as they used to. So my friend noticed as well that her friend had stopped talking to her. Her friend was now confiding in her husband and basically stepping over her head and doing whatever she wants to do. Remember, she was a friend of this woman, but suddenly it's like the husband became the friend. She no longer was communicating with the friend. So another incident occurred which made my friend very suspicious. The friend was coming back from America and going back to Jamaica to see, the progress of her new place and what was happening. But what the friend did, she actually phoned up, I will call her Joanne. My friend is Joanne. I will call her Joanne instead of me saying my friend, her friend, whatever. So Joanne is the person who is married, and she invited this other person to her holiday home in Jamaica. So Joanne noticed that, her friend stopped talking to her but was more now confiding in her husband. So something happened that really made my friend became really, really suspicious. That was when the friend rang up her husband and said, asked the husband to come and pick her up at the airport. She hadn't informed Joanne of nothing like this. So on the day when the husband was supposed to go and pick up her friend, he said to her, oh, blah, blah, blah has told me to pick her up at the airport. Joanne was like fuming. So she said to her husband, oh yeah, well, I'm coming. And the husband said, all right. So on arrival at the airport and this friend walk in, it's like the friend's eyes was on the husband. She did not even, when she saw Joanne with the husband, she was shocked. She was shocked. Now, why would you be shocked? Well, I suppose because she was planning this behind Joanne's back, not knowing that the husband would have told her that, he's going to pick her up. But Joanne's question was, so when did you lot make this plan? She never told me she was coming, but she told you she was coming. So on the way to her destination, the friend kept quiet in the car. Joanne tried to speak to her, and all she did was kept quiet. So Joanne seemed to realize that something is going on here. Joanne found out later along the way that, these long communications that they were having was not just conversations about them. The friend was telling the husband things about Joanne, things that had happened in the past, things that she reveals things to the husband about things she and the friend and Joanne had discussed. Things maybe to do with the relationship, their private relationship, the relationship between Joanne and her husband. The friend went back and revealed everything to Joanne's husband. And a lot of it were lies. And of course, this caused conflict between Joanne and her husband. Remember, these two have been friends for over 20 years. And to think that a moment of jealousy or severe jealousy could make her turn against Joanne. Jealousy because of what she has, and she wants it. The Bible talk about the strange woman, the woman who come into your house, the woman who come with her lips like honey to try and break up everything that you have. So, we have to be careful about the types of people that we're letting into our space. She promised Joanne's husband a lot of things. Now, my question is she that insecure that, despite the fact that we know she's doing wrong, but is she that insecure that the only thing she can offer to someone's husband is material wealth, or, to go and slander her friend to try and get the husband's attention? What do you think about this matter, people? What do you really feel about, people who do things like that? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Have you actually experienced anything like this before? And how did you cope with it? Some of you might have indeed been in this position, so you know exactly how it feels to receive a double betrayal. So in the end, it's like a sinister tapestry. Joanne realized that she's going to be standing on the edge of a heartbreak. She needs to investigate what is going on. So basically, she realized, in some instances, the husband was lying to her about communication with a friend. But Joanne had found out that they'd been having long conversations, video calls, and so on. The husband was also lying to her. So Joanne was feeling like this is a double betrayal. So to cut a long story short, in the end, even though they both denied it, it really seemed to Joanne that something was going on. And despite the fact that the husband promised that he was no longer going to communicate with her, she found out along the way that these two were still communicating. She confronted the friend about it through an email, but instead of the friend coming back to her, the friend sent the email to the husband and said, "Oh, this is what Joanne has written to me. Have you seen it?" And, the husband said to her, "Yes, I've seen it." So instead of responding to what Joanne had written, she ignored it and she discussed it with Joanne's husband. What do you think is going on here, people? What exactly do you think was going on here? Joanne later got to find out that, the friend had made a lot of promises to her husband because the husband wasn't really doing well financially at the moment. So the friend had made a lot of promises to the husband, that there's things she will give him for doing the work for him. She will buy him a car. She will do this. She will, even, return the favor of inviting him back to America. So what do you think? I mean, it's quite obvious what's going on here, but I'd love to hear your comments, and I'd love to know if you've been through a similar situation. So, the story is a long story. So Joanne found herself standing on the precipice of a heartbreak. She was torn between the love she shared and the betrayal that now strained it. Each denial, each lie, each mocking laugh etched a deeper wound into her soul, until the pain became unbearable. She refused in the end to become a pawn in this twisted game, a casualty of their deceit. She chose to walk away to reclaim the dignity and self-respect that they tried so desperately hard to steal from her. As she gathered the broken pieces of her heart and tried to find a new path forward. So basically, the what we can take from this is that, there's certain people that we know, and, you think they would never do certain things to you until they're in a situation where they become envious and want everything that you want. Even our best friends that we've known for years, can change in a moment. So, the dangers of bringing close friends into your sacred sanctuary of your marital home are real. Trust is fragile, easily shattered by envy and betrayal. The friend's jealousy was fueled by the home and relationship that Joanne had. And it led her to also go for her husband. Her action escalated as she sought to emulate her life, even investing in a holiday home nearby. She insinuated herself into Joanne's husband's life, developing a friendship that was inappropriate through frequent communication and secret meetings. Joanne's husband was enticed by the allure of wealth and manipulated by her false promises. Up till this day, he denies that there's anything going on. But, as far as Joanne is concerned, they are still talking or something is going on. But she is not going to stick around to be ridiculed by these two people who had betrayed her. Her husband is saying to her, that nothing is going on, there's no reason for her to go, and he will not give her a divorce. His action was driven by greed and a misguided sense of loyalty that led to betrayal and the heartache that Joanne has been going through and is still going through. Despite her attempt to confront the situation and salvage the relationship, her husband continued involvement with the friend, eroded the trust and love they once shared. Each denial and lie further strained the bond between her and her husband until the pain became unbearable. So ultimately, faced with the reality of betrayal, she made the difficult decision to walk away, reclaiming her dignity and self-respect, but she is still in pain. The experience, serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of allowing friends too close into the sanctity of your marital home, where trust can easily be undermined by envy and deceit. This isn't just a story, it's a painful reality for many who have experienced the crushing blow of double betrayal. The effect ripples through every aspect of life, leaving scars that run deep, and the wounds take time to heal. From the shattered trust to profound disillusion, the emotional toll of double betrayal is immense. It is a tsunami of grief and anger and confusion that threatens to engulf every facet of someone's being. These things can also lead to more serious consequences where, people end up dirting each other over this, the jealousy that this has caused. So the sense of betrayal cuts the core of anyone's identity, leaving them questioning not just the motive of those who wronged them, but your own judgment and worthiness of love and loyalty. It makes you question, do you trust the wrong people? There is strength in acknowledging the hurt, in allowing yourself to feel the full weight of your emotion if you're going through this today, and seeking support from those who truly have your best interests at heart. Whether through therapy, self-care practice, or the support of your loved ones, there is a path towards healing and, possibly forgiveness. If, that to me, I don't know if I could forgive so easily. And that's why sometimes we have to pray to God to help us to forgive some of the things that people do to us in life, So you have to start reclaiming your own self-esteem. And if you're grappling with the aftermath of a double betrayal, know that you're not alone. You're not the only person who's been through this, as I've just, tried to relay the story to you of somebody very close that I know. Your story is valid, your pain is real, and the journey towards healing is worthy of utmost compassion and care. So thank you for joining me today, and remember to take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. One love.